Hey everyone, welcome back to another Lyfe video. So I'm going to do part 2 of Law of Attraction, and I'm going to keep this one fairly short and simple. Because the Law of Attraction basically is controlled by you, so you have the joystick of life. But to do that, you've got to understand your sensitivity as well. Because once you learn how to do this part, the rest will be easy, but it takes time, okay? So it's like a baby trying to walk. When a baby walks, it falls over, whatever, until at some point it starts to stand, and then starts to walk, and then it starts to run. But with yourself, because sometimes people don't understand what emotions are and what energy steadiness is, they just experience emotions. So it's the experiencing of the emotions that are actually trying to tell you where you're at. So here's what I want you to do. I don't want you to do anything, actually. Here's what I want to share with you. So hopefully Jack can zoom in on this a bit, because I want you to get total control over your internal system. Because there's no point in talking about other things, so thought and whatnot. It's the emotions that you're experiencing that are guiding you. And once you see it that way, then you'll actually not want to live in certain spaces. Here's what I mean. Let's just call it red zone and blue zone. Yeah? So hot and cold, red zone and blue zone. So here are all, and these are all emotions. I know it's a bit like a classroom, so sorry about that, but it's the only way I can explain it really. So your emotions, red zone, blue zone, hot, cold. This is what you want. So if you want a bike, and you've been hoping to get a bike, give you a picture of a bike. So you've been hoping to get a bike at some point in time in your life, and you want, it's like a stretch. So everything that you want is like a stretch. You've got to see it that way. It's because you want the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. So this is about getting anything that you want. But the funny thing is, the more you experience this part, the less stuff you want. Because the stuff isn't going to make you feel better. The stuff is just like, you're pretty confident it's going to come when it comes. But sometimes when people are unhappy, they want other things to make them happy. But they don't get. The happier that they get, the more stuff that they're going to get. Make sense? To you? Jack?
Yeah.
So the key really is just about being happy. But that's easier said than done. So how do you just be happy? Here you go. So up here, there's a few others as well, but appreciation, joy, passion, enthusiasm, just keen. So when you're keen, and down here, it's like anger, boredom, apathy, like fear, depressed, that sort of stuff, okay? Now, I'm not a psychologist, I'm not pretending to, so before any other psychologists write in and say, Matt, you're not a psychologist, why are you saying depressed? I mean, when we feel depressed, we're like down here. So you've got to see it as a bit of a scale, all right? That's how you need to see it. So when you are moving through life, all that you need to focus on is the present right now. So this stuff, the bike that you want out there, you can picture it, you can want it, you can feel keen about it, but you actually have to, all you need to think about is like at the moment, in the present. How are you feeling? This moment, next moment, next moment, and things are going to happen to you along the way. It's how you react to those things that will determine the next step, and the next step, and the next step, and the next step. Here's something that might bend your mind a little bit, if for those of you who don't know much about the law of attraction, is what you're experiencing right now is old. So the energy, it's actually been created from the energy here, forward. So we're creating energy forward. So when we're pumped and happy, we're creating the next lot of circumstances and things coming into our world. When we're pumped and happy, next one. Pumped and happy, next one. When we're angry, we're just creating yucky, angry in forward. So we're going to move into that experience or event. Next one, next one, next one. So I want you to picture it like that. So when you're happy here, you're actually creating there. When you're experiencing something here, you actually attracted it or created it from there and then moved into it. You get that? So hope you can get your head around that part. I'm happy to do more on that stuff anyway. So this is why in your day, you can only control what you can now, right now. You can't control your husband yelling at you last night. So you give thought to that. So what you focus on, so if we say focus, black. So what you focus on creates an emotion. So what I mean is when I said when your husband was yelling at you last night, when you think about that, old news, it will actually create an emotion, probably here, anger, or maybe even fear, or depressed, one of the three. So it's that focus that you're giving your attention to activates an emotion, okay? When you think about your bike that you want, you'll feel passionate around it. I want that. I can ride to work, I can do this, and what can it do for you? That's why visualizing is quite good. But what people do is something happens to them, they don't actually understand that what's happening to them, they created it from before, they're experiencing it, they get angry about it, they move forward, so they're throwing the anger forward, they move forward and then they start talking about it. They start telling their mates about it. Like I went to a shop this morning, the lady was telling me all this crap stuff that was happening to her. So when you talk about it, you're giving focus to it. You're giving attention to it. You're keeping it alive. And what's happening is you're just going to live the same thing over and over and over again because you're not changing the focus and the emotion. That's why making a decision, it's not about getting happy. It's just not. It's like happiness is consistently focusing and living in this area, the hot area. This is where all the good stuff happens. So why this is so important is over time, after 2 weeks, 30 days, 6 months, a year, 10 years, when you start to become really sensitive to where you actually decide to live, decide to be, emotionally decide to spend your time and your focus, once you get really sensitive here, you will leave this behind. It doesn't mean you'll never get angry, but what happens is you'll spend less time on it. You'll get angry, but then you say, hang on a minute, I'm angry, I'm affecting me. I'm not affecting the person that made me angry, I'm affecting me. So are you prepared to throw that energy forward? And then keep living that cycle until over time you get so over it, it starts to dissipate over a long period of time. Some people stay there for a long time and their life is crap. So here, it's about making a decision on how you want your life to be. Getting so emotionally steady, this is the key. Once you understand just what your emotions are, emotional steadiness is what you're striving for. Once you have emotional steadiness, consistency in your life, because you've consciously made a decision to focus your attention in this area, what do I want in life? What am I passionate about? What's going good in my life? You know, funny thing, if you focused on one thing only that's going right in your life, like some days I have things that just don't go right. I can feel my emotions are all over the place. I'll go off and I'll stop working. I'll go and be somewhere else, out of it. And I'll let it all die down before I'll do anything else. But here's the thing, if you've got stuff going on that's not going right, you just focus on one thing, total focus, all day of something that's going right in your life. The other things that aren't going right will either die, because you're giving them no energy to keep them alive, die and move out of your way, or they'll fix. And they'll start to go right. Because you are in total control of what comes into your world. Because you are the radio receiver. You're bringing the frequency. You're creating the frequency and bringing it in. Bang, 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 bang. Constantly, constantly. All day, every day. Moment, 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 moment. That's how it works. That's how it works. So if you are in this zone, think about how you're feeling. Think about who you're telling. Think about what you're focusing on. And then slowly start to move yourself out of there. The easiest thing to do is in the morning, start to practice this. Just sit and look at the sun. Sit and just be. Feel great about the opportunity. Whatever. Put yourself into a mindset of ease and joy and fun and appreciation and keenness and all of this sort of stuff. The morning is the easiest because when you go to sleep, all momentum stops. Your momentum completely stops. So you wake up, it's like a new drawing that you can start painting. When you wake up, you have no momentum around you. So it's like what you focus on starts the day, and that sets the tone until something happens in your day. But that sets the tone. If you can do that a day, next day, next day, next day, what happens is it's like going to the gym. You'll get stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger and more aware and better and better and better. And soon enough, you start living life like that. And you know those people that you see and things they're just killing it? That's why. Yeah. They have control of their focus. They give their attention to the things that they want that makes them feel good. They move off of these things very quickly and aren't prepared to live their life in this area because they know the consequences. They know it's just going to create more of this. And they move themselves back to here very quickly. And they give more time and energy here. And their life, over time, becomes consistent, becomes flowing, becomes easier, becomes joyful, and then they get happy. And that's pretty much it. So I'll share with you more on part 3.